Hi guys, welcome to this session on Outlook Online. In this module, I want to cover some of the basic features in Outlook Online. So first of all, I'm on Microsoft 365's homepage, clicking on the app selector and selecting Outlook. That will load up Outlook, and then you can see the main features. So first off, we're on the email part of Outlook. So at the top there on this left hand side, you've got all the icons for each element. So the second one down is a calendar, then you've got your contacts. Third one down, that's your contacts, your generic contacts, and your personal contacts will be listed there. Then you've got groups, different groups that you can select or create and add people to them. Then you've got files that you can attach to your Outlook that are uploaded with documents. Then you've got, depending on what version of Microsoft 365 you have, you may well have Viva Engage, which is all about well-being. You've got the Bookings app, which will open up the Bookings element of this, and you can use Bookings from within Outlook or go onto the Bookings app in Microsoft 365. This is just the bookings that I've already created, the pages. And then down the bottom there, you've got a link to OneDrive and then more apps. So I'm going to start at the top with the email part of Outlook. So what you have with most Microsoft packages nowadays is the ribbon across the top. Usually I just click out of this view. It sits like this by default, and if you want to expand the whole ribbon, you need to select Classic Ribbon, and then it will show you the full icons. So across the top there, you've got various icons that you can use depending on what you're trying to do. So for example, if you want to send a new mail, you've got a drop down arrow there. It gives you the mail option, but it also gives you other options in there also. If you just click the button, it will open up the mail feature. So you can see the email there ready to go. So I'll send that to myself, and your calendar comes up. Click on that and add a subject. I'll just call this test, and then you type your message underneath like so. Anything you want, just put hi there, and then you can send it in this basic format. So I'll just send that for now. And straight away that pops in there. There's the actual message coming into my inbox from myself. Now if you don't want that message, you've got an option there to delete that message, which I'm going to do. And then if I go back to new mail message, click on that, it's ready to send another one, and then you can just repeat the process. You've got drop down options on there, so you can send now or use this scheduling send option if you so wish. BCC, this line stands for blind carbon copy. So if you activate that, you can put people's addresses in there and they will not see who else got this email. Whereas that one, CC carbon copy, if you put anybody's address in there, everybody will see that. So you shouldn't use that option if you're sending out a mail where you want people to respond, but it's not something that other people should be able to grab their data from. So it's a bit more protective in terms of data protection. Up on the top here, I've got signatures. So you can set different signatures, create signatures, either select them from a list of previously saved ones, or click on signatures and create a new one. So if I click on signatures, you can then just come into settings and add a new signature. So if I just go new signature here, you have to give it a name. So I'll just call it test for this so I can get rid of it later on. Hi, regards. That's what I'll put. That's all I want. You can tick this option. Obviously you've got all this formatting functionality at the bottom there if you want to use that. I don't. Just going to save that, and then that's your signature saved. and you can delete it if you so wish. Now that sits with all the other signatures. So there's test, you can select that. But I'm going to leave it on Steve because that's the one I want it to be on, this one. Now close this. So I'm actually in settings here, look. So this is just jump me straight into settings. You can also get into settings various different ways, but you can get to settings from this sort of cog at the end there. That takes you back into the same place where you can set things up and view all Outlook settings as opposed to just this first few that comes up. This will show you the same place. So it's not just settings for email, you've got general settings, you've got calendar settings, you've got contacts, people settings, however you want or whatever you want to change, this is where you come. If you're not happy with the defaults, just close that off for a second. Now, when you send an email, you've got the option there to attach files to this email and send it to whoever is the recipient. You've got this option here where you can set high, low, or normal importance. Don't know why anybody would ever set that to low, but obviously somebody does because it's been around for quite a while. You've got the editor options at the end there for spelling. It's always wise to spell check things. And then you've got a link to more options at the end there as well. So go into there. So it's where you do your read requests, delivery requests. You can check whether somebody's received the email and whether somebody's read the email. Bear in mind that people can disable that or not respond to it, but they can't. That's the read one, sorry, they can do that too. They cannot do anything to this because it goes to the server. So if the server receives the email, you will get a response saying that's happened. Just come off that for a second. Some of the features that we've already had a quick look at are repeated when you go to insert. You can see the things that's there, like signature and attached files. That's already been shown on the first tab. Format text is an option where you can format text. But again, you can do that within the message. Options is, we've looked at this already. You've got that option's already in the front. You've got more options there which I had a look at, and then you've got these things that I just showed you 2 seconds ago along with the editor. So quite often these items are repeated on different tabs. The view option there gives you different features. Message preview, for example, show preview text, hide it, depends how big your screen is. Conversations, you might want to have a look by conversation as opposed to just a big list of emails in here. But I'll just go back to home. I'm going to discard this message actually, so I'll just delete this one. Yeah, I'm not going to have that. Get rid of that. On the home tab at the top, you've got all this sort of information where you can create an email, delete, forward, reply, create a meeting from an email. So you've got an email there that's requesting some of your time. You can click this item and it will open up a meeting invite, and you can sort that direct into your calendar. Rules are quite useful. Rules will automatically move. If I go into that and just manage rules, I think I've got one already created. Back into settings, look. So these rules are already created, so depending on what it says, it will move items into these locations. So you can automatically organize your emails if you need to. Now this quick step, where I've got an Alana quick step, if I click this, it will move that email into the folder called Alana, which is down here somewhere. There. So if I should do that, just click that as a quick step, so it should move that in there. Course development should have gone into Alana. Click on Alana. So that's moved. Yeah, move those two into, and the other one's appeared now, so there's a bit of a delay there, but it has actually moved that into that. Now the way you create one of these is you drop this little arrow down, you manage quick steps, and then in there you can create a new one, a new quick step. So if I just edit this one, you can see what I did for that. So basically we say move, I've named it Alana, move to the folder called Alana. So that's me just clicking it, and you've got other options you can do in there. So I'm not going to go through that just yet. That's just an overview this is. discard that. So that's just a quick overview on the email part of Outlook, but the calendar part is the next one down. If we go into that, it's going to look at the calendar where you've got initial and the home tab, different views. You've got day view, work week, which will show you Saturday and Sundays, and then you've got the month view. Shows you your appointments for the month. You've got a board where you can see this as a board. Some people like that, and you can add your own boards. It just tabulizes it a little bit. I'm going to put this back onto work week. That's the one I like. Then you've got the view tab, which repeats that again. Don't know why that repeats, but it just seems to repeat. Duplication there. I don't know why. You've got different time scales. You can set or change your default appointment times to those. You've got filter options, and then you've got calendar settings, which will take you into settings yet again. So it's worth having a look through settings to see if everything's how you want it default before you do anything else, really. So remember that cog there is a quick way to get into settings. You've got an option to all Outlook settings. Now, if you want to create an appointment in any view, you can go on the home tab. You've got select new event, or you can just double click on any item, any time frame. So I'll double click at 3 o'clock, and that will open up the event that I want to add. So I'll type training and then invite somebody, Alana, and I'll invite somebody else, Ashley. And then what you have on this is you've got like a scheduling poll item. So I don't know whether they're available for this time or not. So if I click on scheduling poll, it will tell me what time frames that they're allocated on. So I'm no good picking that one because they're both booked up. So this is looking a bit grim for 3 o'clock. Required. So let's have a look. It says they're available. They're required because I've just selected this. So at the moment, I think I'm okay for that. Just get rid of this scheduling poll. You've also got on the top here is scheduling assistant, which will tell me if they're on my network, whether they're actually free or not. And looking at that, they look like they are both available for that time slot. Because if they weren't free, it would have a time in there. So that's like she's not accepted that request, but she's booked in for it. So she probably will when she gets it. Even though it's in the past, she just didn't book in for it. But that's what it would look like. So if she was booked in for anything up here, that will be flagged up. So that's looking good. To send this or to save this event, I'll send this one. And that's put that one in my calendar. And then you've got, if I just double click back into it, you can open it up. And this is this option here to categorize events. Now I've created a few categories, or two. Basically what you have to do to use these categories elsewhere in Office 365 or Microsoft 365, for example, in there, you need to do it in Outlook, which is a bit strange. So you just basically go new category and then pick a color. I've already got one called staff, I think. Call it staff training. I'll pick that color, whatever color that is, and then save that. So if we go back into categories, I've now got staff and staff training and training. That's what I can think of. You've got the options up here, look, to join a Teams meeting from this point. Again, you've got that poll option there, which just gives you this block that you can have a look down, looking at different time slots. But everything is okay there. I've got center OneNote. I'm happy with that. I'll just close that off. So that's sitting in my schedule. If you want to extend it, you can do it like this as well. I can just pull that down and extend that time frame. It's going to want me to do that. So that's changed. Yeah. Tell people that this has changed. So it's now 3 till 4. Send that. So that's keeping that now as I selected it. So this is the calendar area, and again you've got different views. I've already mentioned that. So next one down is the contacts area. Contacts is just a list of your contacts. You can create a contact list like your team. You might add several people into a team. you just create new contact over there, and it gives you the option of a list. You can also create a group where you can select your membership. If you're a member of a group, you can click on that. If you're an owner of a group, you can click on owner. So I think I'm an owner of a group. Yeah. So I'm owner of these groups. I've actually not joined a group, and then deleted groups. So remember, when you create a group, you can, so you've got the option there, look, creating a new group. You've also got a feature down here where you can create groups. You can, once you've created groups, email everybody within that group from one message. So it's like a group email you can create. So you've got this sort of things down the bottom there. Again, depending on what version you've got the directory item. So this is coming off the server. So this is telling you everybody that's in your directory. So everybody. So you'd be able to grab these into groups if you wanted to. And you've got rooms, if any rooms have been set up on the server, all users that's in your company, etc., etc. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see how that works. So that's groups, Outlook contact, should I say. Next one down is groups. So this is the groups, and this is where you can create groups yourself. So you've got, at the moment, I've got 4 groups showing there. I've got a few down here, but these are just the ones that are recent, frequently used. If you want to create a group, you click on create group, give it a name, follow this process through, and then that's it. You add the people. Well, I'll just do it, I'll call it test. So you add, so that's going to be the email. So you add a description, and then you add the people that you want to be in this group, whoever you want, just add them too, and then add them in, and then that's created that group called test, and there it sits. And underneath that, you've got like a little paperclip, which is all to do with attachments, inbox attachments, files, etc. Sent items, same sort of thing. Any files, no attachments to show. The next down on the list is Viva Engage, which is all about well-being. And I don't think that's on everybody's version of Microsoft 365, so I'm not going to go into that, but this next one is the booking app. If I click on that, you can either use the booking app straight away from Microsoft 365, or you can come to it through this option, and then you can see all your bookings. So if I just open this one, staff appraisal, you can see how this works. So basically you create a booking, so I'll just go new booking, and then you've got a time slot there, 223. You add a customer, so I've added 2 customers to this list. So one's called Paul Jones, he's a customer. He wants a staff appraisal with Alana, say, and then you create the booking. It's basic form. There are more options there that you can select, and then that will create that booking there. You can also add time off for people, change the view. You've got different options here. Across the top there, you've got the booking page, which is the first page. You can add your customers. So this one is basically an internal one. So I'd have all the internal staff or your team, and you're creating a booking appraisal. So they'll get an invite. Maybe you said you need to be booking yourself in with one of these people. It could be counsellors or whatever. They have to book it in a certain length of time, come in, get the interview, off they go. You can also have it for sales and things like that. There's also uses for it, booking courses and things. Staff is what you set up when you first create the thing. You add your staff for that one. Services are the services that you're offering. So by default, you get this 30-minute IT support service. I've added a service, so you just add a new service, and then that is what people, and you can delete this one if you don't want it. There's no point having that. Add a new service up there, and then you fill in the information. So if I edit this one that I did earlier, you can see the sort of stuff that you can put in there. Save the changes on that one. And then you've got business information and integrations, which just says exactly what it does on the tin. So this is a bit like settings for this. So that's the booking app. And then you've got a link to OneDrive down here, and then more apps. Now across the top, you've got these options where you can set up a Teams call. You can go to chat. So that's both of them are going to open up Microsoft Teams. This one is going to give you a preview of your OneNote, if you've got a OneNote document. So these are the OneNotes I've got, and if I scroll down, you should see some more on this side. There we go. I've got quite a few untitled pages. I didn't know I had untitled pages, but you can actually click into these and it'll go into OneNote and you'll see whatever you've typed in there. I'm not going to let it load up. Go back to up here, which is to do. The next thing to do, you've got your little calendar with anything you've added, and then this to do option will show you the to do list. There is a separate app called to do. So basically, if you add anything in here, it will also replicate in the actual to do app. And then you can add that to do app or to do and planner and to do, both of them come together to your Teams, and you'll see everything linking up. So these are just options across there. I've already been into settings quite a few times. You've got alarms there, notifications. But that's basically a very quick overview of Outlook Online. Quite a useful tool, well integrated with the rest of the Office Online features, or apps as they're now called. But that's all I want to cover on this little session, so hopefully it was of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.